Here we have a problem that's much bigger than the other ones. Take a look at what you can see in this part of the knitting and what it should look like up here. I've identified the space on the chart with these black lines that needs to be fixed. So we're going to start right here with this row of dark blue and light blue. And this time I'm going to take out all of these stitches, insert a lifeline first, then take out all of those stitches and then knit it back up with the yarn that we have left. So the pins here are to just show you what level it's going from. At the top here you can see that on my needle between the pins is the dark blue, light blue, 3 dark blues, light blue, 3 darks, a light, and a dark. So those stitches are just going to come off this needle. We'll leave it here in a resting position. And notice as I take out these rows, each row has 2 strands of yarn, one for each of the colors. So there's the first row, and I'm going to clip those 2 strands together with the locking stitch marker. There's the next row. Oops, I forgot to put in my lifeline. So I want to put in the lifeline in the row that is below the one I'm going to take out. So that will be in this white and blue row, and I'm picking up the left leg or the right leg of each stitch in that row. This lifeline will actually be the stitches that I am knitting up with the first correct row. Now be careful that you stay on the right row. There it looks like I'm going up to a row above, and no, it needs to be in this row. Keep watching your chart. Make sure you stay in the appropriate row, and then check afterwards to make sure it still matches the chart. So my chart says that the row for the lifeline, this one, should start with a white stitch, have a blue, 3 whites, there they are, a blue, 3 whites, right there, a blue, and 1 white. I have my needle in 1 stitch too far, so I'm just going to back it up. All right, that last pair of strands is caught with a marker. I'm going to do the same with this. I want to make sure I pulled it out all the way. to the stitches that are secured here in this column and all the way in this direction. All right, I have another row to go. Make sure that I get both yarns there, the light blue and the dark blue. All right, and secure them. All right, this is the row on my needle, and this is the row that I need to start knitting. So I look at my work here and see that the first pair of yarns that I have for this row, the light blue and the dark blue, and this is the row that I'm knitting right here, or right here being held by this purple. I want to get all the rest of these out of the way back here and only pay attention to these two. I'm going to put them over my finger. Knitting in a case like this is always done as a right side row, and that's why double point needles are good, because you can just slide them down to the end. So I have a dark stitch above this white one, and then a light blue. Dark is my background color, so I'm going to keep it on the right. And my pattern color, the light blue, on the left. So I have a dark blue stitch, a light blue stitch, two darks, I want that background color to go over the pattern color. Two darks. Let me see how I'm doing. A light blue that's right above white. A dark blue that's right here in the middle. A light blue right there, above that white. Two dark blues. Oh, this is getting a little tight here. So when that happens, I often put it right over my needle and then just slip the stitch over. Let me see what's happened with this needle from up there. Okay, so there are my two dark blues. I have a light blue and another dark blue. Where did this light blue go? Right here it is. Dark blue and this, that light blue, and then this dark blue is a stitch right here. Can you see that float right there? Well, all I'm going to do is put it over my needle and lift this stitch over the top. So there it is. Let's check it. Dark blue, light blue, two darks, a light, a dark, a light, two darks, a light, and a dark. I slip the stitches to the other end of the needle. Look for, now, do you see this piece I have right here? This piece is the extra that I had from the way it was knit before. I'm going to take this and hold it out of the way for the time being. I'm going to just lay it down on my, like that. Put a locking stitch marker to hold it down there. I'm going to bury it later in these ends or weave it in, but right now I just want it out of the way. Okay, the next one, the next pair that I have, looks like this pair right here. Ooh, they weren't held together, but still, I can see that they are a pair. The next pair would be those two. So yes, it's these two that I want. Again, I'm going to put them over my finger as if I'm knitting continental. And look at the next line. I have a dark blue, a light blue, two darks, and a light. Dark blue, a light blue. Now, I'm knitting this up with needles that are smaller than the ones that I knit the piece to begin with. And I'm doing that because it's easier to make use of the yarn that I have if I actually have a little bit of slack. And I can go back at the end and manipulate stitches that don't look like they're the right size. Oh, there's a little trick. Do you see now how I put that needle over the top of the blue one so I could get the dark blue better? That seemed to work well. Okay, the light blue, that one's going to come from underneath. Okay, light blue, two darks. I'm going to try that again. Just put that needle right over there. Okay, two darks. Whatever you can do to help yourself deal with these small numbers, the small amount of yarn you have when you get to the end. So I have a light blue and a dark blue to do. A light blue, just put that right over the tip of the needle. And a dark blue, there's the dark blue piece. So each row is worked up in the same way, using the strand, the two strands that were used to knit that row. Here's the next pair. I'm going to knit up to the top, and you don't need to be watching me do that, and then show you the last row as I put it onto the stitches to continue on. You can see already that it looks much better. It's following the pattern. And every time I want to make sure that I check that I have the right stitches there.